G'day guys, thanks for stopping by. If you think this is pretty good, give it a big old thumbs up. And before I get stuck into the final stages of this build, I'll just give a couple of shout outs to a few good blokes. First up, we've got Paul Jenkins, the Wood Knight. He's got two channels, one where he talks a lot and one where he makes stuff. I'll leave a link to both of those channels below in the description there. And also the boys from the Stool podcast, they get up on YouTube and on the podcast streaming things each week and talk about whatever the current topic is. It's quite interesting, go check them out. Highly recommend it. Anyway, let's get stuck into this and get this drawer installed. And so you just slice it off using the very tip or the corner of your chisel. It comes off pretty easily if they're high. So I've just set myself up ready to install the drawer slides into the underside of the cot here. I've got it all marked out where I need to drill a couple of holes and then screw the side or the part one of the drawer slide. So here I go. Ugh. It was on the right way, wasn't it? Yeah, it has to be. Duh. Drawer goes in, drawer goes out. So here I don't want to drill all the way through the bloody sides. So I've got my tape gauge set up on my drill and hopefully I'll obey it. So now while the front is held in position with these couple of clamps, I want to put in a couple of screws. I could just do one screw here, and one screw here, but what happens is the front actually gets to flex on that one pivot point. So what I want to do is I want to put two screws here, and two screws here. I might even put 5 sets of 2 screws in there. Haven't decided yet. But for starters, I'm going to put 2 screws in the middle. So the middle is half of 1260. That's 630. So I'll just make a mark, very light mark there. Got my square about there. These squares aren't very good for this. Try it that way. That's better. Make a mark straight up. And then I want to put 2 screws in here somewhere, but I don't want to just try to put it 10mm from that bottom edge, because how am I going to drill it? How am I going to screw it? I have to put it on a massive angle. So I want to see where I can put it. So it's about there. That's pretty good there. So I'll make a mark there. Check the joint line across the top, it's looking good, and we give it a test fit. Oh, look at that, just like a store-bought one. So for the past 2 days it's been 40 degrees Celsius, 110 degrees Fahrenheit, and very, very dry conditions. It's only been like 25% humidity, which is very, very dry. A dry, hot heat. And inside the front room where I've been keeping these panels for the last few days, it's actually been a kiln condition. It cops out the morning sun in the morning and it just gets hotter and hotter and hotter in this room throughout the day, eventually capping out at 40 degrees. So it's pretty much in a kiln. And what's happened is this grey gum panel has shrunk vertically and the OzzyOcker legs have shrunk across the width, which has left a little bit of a step on the top and a little bit of step here. And it also opened that joint up just that little bit to give a fairly noticeable gap in there. The gap is now closed up this morning because it's now 54% humidity, which just goes to show just how quickly things can change. But it's going to happen time and time again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a chisel and put a little V-groove in this edge here and along that joint there to give it a bit of a detail, because there are details. There's little quirks under here, and this being flush, it actually doesn't look quite right, and I haven't been overly happy with the way that it looks as is now. So I'll put this little detail in there with a V-groove and chisels, and it won't overcome the problem of the timber movement because this is an end grain to long grain connection, but it will disguise any defect that occurs from it. So it's the next day and I've got at least one coat on all of the panels so far. I've got 2 coats on the back panel, so that's done, I'm finished with that. This is the mattress base, and then I've got the 2 side panels on the front panel, so I've got to get them done today. Should take me a couple of hours. Now the best way of applying this stuff I've found, slap it on, slap happy, just Harry hack it, just get it on there, roll it, brush it on, whatever, without putting too many runs through it or drips through it. Then get yourself a loaded rag full of the oil that's really wet, and then just wipe it in, rub it in there just to make sure that it's actually rubbed in, because if you just put a roller on it, it's not very good because this stuff is very thick. So we'll rub it in there, let it sit there for a minute or two, then get a drier rag. It's going to be a slightly wet rag, but it's drier, and then just buff it off. And when I say buff it off, I mean buff all of it off. If you leave anything sitting on the surface, it becomes sticky and tacky and it looks like crap. So it's a very difficult finish to use. I'm not happy with it. Very unhappy with it. Very difficult to use. Much prefer a Danish oil, but a Danish oil smells and smells and smells for months and months and months. So this is why I've gone for this Osmo product. Well, thanks very much for watching, guys. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to this channel. It's all about woodworking, furniture making, anything to do with wood really. So if you're into that, click that subscribe button, the big red thing that says subscribe. And if you want to get notified as to when I upload a new video, you can click the little bell thing and it gives you a little pop-up on your computer screen. It says, Kuffy just uploaded another video, quickly watch it because it's probably awesome. Probably, they're not always awesome, I realise that. I do apologise for the crap ones, and I pat myself on the back for the really good ones. Simple as that. We win some, we lose some. This one I reckon was a win. I'm going to take all of this footage and compile it into a single video, and I'll get that uploaded pretty soon because I have to do it pretty quickly because I've run out of hard drive space in my computer, and I don't have that kind of money just to buy another hard drive. So I'll get that done, and then I'm going to start on a chest of drawers with a baby change table thing on top for my sister again, for her baby. And that won't be a daily vlog. I'm thinking at this point in time it will be a weekly vlog. If you think that's a good idea, like a weekly vlog where I do work in the afternoons after work plus on the weekends, and I compile that into a weekly vlog. That way I can go into more depth as to what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, how I'm doing it, what process I'm using, what machine I'm using, how I'm using that machine, why I'm doing things, any mistakes that happen. Otherwise I can just make it and compile the footage into an overview video and put a bit of music on it and say, look, this is what I made. Whatever you guys like, I'm pretty easy. I actually do enjoy making these videos. To put it bluntly, I think I might be addicted to making videos, so you might be seeing a lot of me in the future. Which, I'm not really much to look at, but if I just step away, you can have a look at the beautiful baby cot. Isn't that good to look at? And then I step back into the picture, oh, I've ruined it again. And on that big fat ugly note, I'll see you later.